Bonsoir, good evening, Africa. Welcome to another rocking episode of Hashtag Kwese Sports. Tonight, we have the pleasure of two basketball fanatics. If you are an NBA fan, then you know how big our debate is tonight. NBA All-Star Weekend, all right? And I'm a huge basketball fan and can't wait to sink my teeth into this discussion. But first, my co-host, who needs no introduction, Zihlon Ndlovu. Great having you on the show tonight. But you know, my producer quickly tells me that you performed exceptionally well at the Jacob's Ladder Challenge. How was it without giving too much away?
Arthur, if I start talking about it, I will not stop. Oh my God, Jacob's Ladder was incredible. You know how earlier on I was just saying that, you know what, it's not that hard. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Take it all back. It's not easy at all. It was really hard. So I'm really proud of myself. I did quite well, you know.
Yeah.
Reached those levels that are not embarrassing to talk about. But you'll find out all about that next week's episode. But for today, we have an amazing show coming up. And make sure that you join in on the conversation. Use our social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, www.kwese.com.
Yes, you heard from Zihlon. Yep. That's where you can get in touch with us. Kwese Fires, you are definitely the most valuable person on the show tonight. So, time to bring in our guests. Both are NBA addicts and no stranger to our couch. Spoo and Kaunda, welcome to the Hashtag Couch.
What is happening?
KC.
Wow.
That's a what Congolese person you know can introduce you like that, huh?
I don't. Thanks for that intro. I've never been introduced like that.
Do you feel good? Do you feel brand new?
I feel like a celeb.
Oh, that's exactly what we're going for.
Mama have arrived.
Oh, wow. Speaking about the celeb, hi, Spoo.
Oh, wow. Is that now me? Really? This guy is a celeb. If you want to talk celebs, you're talking about this guy.
Oh,
but I'm
guys.
well. Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be on the Hashtag Couch once again. I think it's my first time this year, ne?
Yeah, first time this
year. You guys have been delaying my invite.
You've been busy. You've become a celebrity.
Yeah, you're out there being a star and stuff, so you know.
I'll take it.
Fantastic.
But it's good to be here.
Yeah, guys, lovely to have you, KC and Spoo. Huge weekend coming up. Of course, it's All-Star Weekend, the 2019 edition. Your initial thoughts, guys, on the whole campaign?
It's going to be a great weekend. I mean, starting off with Friday night, where it's the Rising Stars.
Yeah.
I mean, Team World versus Team US, that's going to be a scorcher. You got some great rookies, great sophomores. Saturday night, one of my favorite nights, slam dunk contest, my favorite event. Then you got the three-point challenge, you got the skills challenge.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sunday night, which will be Monday morning for us. I'm not sleeping.
Perfect. Spoo, there's so much happening this weekend, and you were there last year. How was that experience, though?
It was an experience of a lifetime because, and I think also it was amplified by the fact that it was actually in Los Angeles, right? Where it's the mecca for all things Hollywood, all things celeb, all things star.
Are you sure that's what you're explaining, and you're not really pointing out the fact that you're a die-hard Lakers fan?
Well, that's the other thing I was going to say. You were way ahead of me. I mean, as a Lakers fan, to be at the Staples Center, to see Shaq's statue right outside there, to see Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and to walk around in LA. I mean, I was producing some content for our very own Kwese Sports, and I love doing that. But you walk around LA and you see star after star after star. Friday night, I was in the arena, and I'm sitting there watching the Rising Stars game. Next thing I know, 2 seats from me is Tinashe.
Wow.
And at the time, Tinashe was actually dating Ben Simmons. So she had come to watch her boo-thang, Ben Simmons. It's insane. Saturday night again, skills challenge, dunk contest, you know, three-point contest. It's a vibe. And then Sunday, the main event. Watching the All-Star Game live in Los Angeles, having to do sideline court interviews, all of that stuff is just amazing. So for me, I was at home actually, because it's kind of my town. LA is my town.
You're a star.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a vibe.
Yeah, some serious FOMO. I mean, just hearing Spoo talk about how the experience was last year. But KC, 2 years ago, myself and you did our first All-Star Weekend, even if, you know, Spoo was out there in Los Angeles.
We were virtually in New Orleans. I remember those sleepless nights. It was great, though. The New Orleans version of the All-Star Weekend. It was great. We had great fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember coming in and we were watching the Rising Star Challenge and the guys were just playing their hearts out. You know, me explaining to you about the rules of the slam dunk contest.
Yes, yes, I remember
It
that.
was fun. I felt like a Jedi and you were my...
Otto was still a baby.
Oh, yeah?
Otto was still a baby,
yeah?
so we were grooming him.
Oh, yeah?
We were grooming him for
guys.
the NBA, and now look at you.
Yeah,
a
man.
full-grown NBA fanatic.
There you go.
Well, so this is like what, my third All-Star weekend,
you
right?
go.
It's my
Yeah.
third All-Star
Yeah,
weekend.
You're kind of an all-star. Have you made the all-star team yet?
You know what? Whose team do I need to be a part of
Actually,
first?
Arthur, I would like to know what's your overall idea or thought of the All-Star weekend? Like, what's your most favorite part of it?
Yeah, I think it's also the Saturday when the All-Star weekend eventually, that's like my official start of All-Star weekend. I look forward to the three-point challenge, the dunk challenge as well, and also the skills challenge. I remember last year's competitors who put on quite a big showing. And, you know, I actually think I can dunk anything, and I actually think I do have all...
Wait, hold on.
Something.
Dunk?
Come on, Arthur.
Yes, guys.
Dunk?
Yes, I can
Are we
dunk.
talking
Yes, I've got skills.
donuts?
We need to-
Yes,
Are we
I've
talking
got
donuts
talent.
here?
Yeah.
We
That's what I'm
really
thinking.
need
Maybe it's
donuts.
donuts, you know what I mean? We're not sure.
Donuts, guys, of course.
We're going to have, I'll tell you what, we'll take you to the court. Me and Kaunda are going to be kind. We'll take a basketball, put on some sneaks, we'll go to the court
And
and
a
we'll see.
camera.
And I'm going to record
And a
everything.
camera.
I'll capture everything.
Zico is going to
wow.
help us with the camera.
I think we
Arthur,
got this, right?
you need to prove yourself.
We have a show.
All right, fair enough, guys. Fair enough. You know, we've been speaking a lot about the NBA All-Star weekend, but for the layman at home, for the average Joe on the continent who doesn't really understand what the All-Star weekend is about, how would you sum it up, Casey?
Well, the All-Star Weekend basically is one of the NBA's mid-season break sort of a showpiece. Because it's not really a serious game and stats do not really count to your regular season statistical, you know, your statistics. So what happens is they take a break from the regular season game and for that weekend, obviously they pick who they think they're the top dunkers at the time, the top three-point scorers, the best ball handlers, and of course they take the top rookies and top sophomores to come and play.
Yeah.
And in the end, in the All-Star game, they get like the top players from each conference.
Doesn't that have like some sort of advantage, though, Boo? Speaking about the regular season, there, Maya, LeBron James sitting in 10th position, for, you know, Western Conference, and taking advantage of the All-Star weekend because for that weekend, there's no regular games that take place, and then, you know, life, of course, just goes on as usual after that. Isn't that strategically something that franchises can take advantage of?
Well, I mean, it depends. I think All-Star Weekend, it depends on where you are in the standings. I think if you're a team like Golden State, like Houston, like OKC, like a Boston, teams that are marquee teams in the NBA, big teams who are doing well in terms of the regular season, it's a chance for you to kind of pull back a little bit, get some rest for the weekend if you're a coach. Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors, was actually wishing and hoping that he wasn't going to coach the All-Star game because it's a chance to kind of, you know, pull back and see where your team is and get some rest and come back rejuvenated for the second half of the season. So that's the advantage if you're a coach and if you're a player that's not in the All-Star game because it's a lot for these players. They do media. They do media. They do so many events. They do events in and around the game itself. Remember, these guys also have brands outside of basketball. Well, outside the court. So they also have responsibilities outside of that. So it's a lot. If you're LeBron James, everybody wants to talk to you. I mean, I was at All-Star last year. This guy, the scrums, the media scrums would be so packed. I would be at the back. You get what I'm saying? If you're Joel Embiid, so it's hard. It's hard for players who are marquee players like Stephen Curry, James Harden, LeBron James. But if you're not an All-Star, you get to kind of rest a little bit. So I'm happy that my Lakers, who are sort of in 10th position, get to rest. Get to rest. Hey, be nice. Be nice to my Lakers. I'm reeling here.
When he jump shipped to join the Lakers, the whole world was against us. Well, the whole world was against Cavaliers fans. So what's this business of being nice just because Lakers are in 10th position?
Who are you supporting this season?
But he's actually quite confused.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying.
He's talking about how, like, the main issue is the fact that Lakers form. That's his issue with him playing. So he's not loyal to anybody.
Before you go, one thing I've got to tell you. LeBron James, our player,
that
wears the purple and gold, is the leading vote getter. Okay? Let that marinate for a little bit.
I think you're missing the important point here. He just said on international TV that he's a Cavaliers supporter.
Well,
That is a problem, right?
He also happens to be a LeBron James supporter, which is why I'm saying he needs to get. Did you not know that? You know that now. Thank you.
Well, of course, he would have been when LeBron played for
Exactly. So he needs to show love to the Lakers. This guy is the most popular player in the league.
We will never agree about this. So should we just leave it? Shall we just do that? Okay, I'm just going to do that. Well, basically, the 25th edition of the Rising Stars pits USA and world teams of 10 first and second players against each other. The talent on display certainly highlights the bright future of the NBA and the global success of basketball in general. Now, the lineups include last year's Rookie of the Year and runner-up, along with this year's leading candidates. As you can see, Team USA has some really exciting players out there. So who's like sticking out for you right there?
Kyle Kuzma. I'm going to have to show love to my boy Kyle Kuzma there from the Los Angeles Lakers. He is balling out. Last couple of games, he's really been playing well. The other guy I really like is Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics. I really think he probably should have been an All-Star this year. I know we're spoiled for choice in the NBA. We have too many players to choose from, but those two guys definitely stick out for me.
Donovan Mitchell, Kaunda, what he can bring to Team USA in terms of, that sense of fervency in that starting five. Can he not add to that?
He's going to add a lot to that. He's a guy as a rookie who led his squad in scoring. That's a fearless player. He's big time. Yeah. And I know he's going to bring a lot to the squad. Even Jared Allen, I mean, I'm calling him the current blocker. He's like taking over from Serge. He's blocking everybody. He's blocked LeBron. Sorry. He's also blocked Giannis. I think if he hasn't blocked Embiid, I don't know. He's blocked almost every franchise player and every team in the NBA that he's played against.
Speaking of Donovan Mitchell, he's actually the guy who won the dunk contest last year. Never mind him actually taking over the scoring load in terms of the Jazz. And I think also he was in consideration for the All-Star team along with his partner Rudy Gobert, but unfortunately it didn't happen.
Unfortunately, it did not happen. Well, the 8-player field pairs off against each other in 3 rounds on an obstacle course that includes dribbling, passing, agility, and shooting. It doesn't always include a hustling. However, even if the players seem to enjoy themselves, this year's challenge includes a nice mix of veterans and rookies, of All-Stars and potential future All-Stars. And maybe we'll finally see the likes of Nikola Jokic, Trae Young, Tortoise, match up for the NBA world has been asking. All right, so we have the likes of Kyle Kuzma, we have the likes of Jason Tatum, Nikola Vucevic, and Trae Young, who happens to be someone that you praise very much, Kaunda.
Yep.
He's good.
No, Trae Young, I think he's a promising rookie. I mean, coming into the league, he's like a Stephen Curry to me. A lot of people underrate him because of his size, and he's a point guard as well, just like Stephen Curry. And I think he's going to do a lot of things at the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, he's playing there along veterans like your Vince Carter, who've been in the league for like 20 years almost. Yeah. So I think Trae Young, for me, in terms of pure shooters, pure point guards, I see him as a future Stephen Curry.
Wow. Luka Doncic, Boo, especially with the season he's had, quite the upcoming, star for this season. You agree?
I don't know why Kaunda is talking about Trae Young. Trae Young is good, but Trae Young ain't no Luka Doncic. Let's just get that out of the way.
Look, first of all,
but Trae Young is a good player. I'm going to leave it there. Luka Doncic is a franchise player. He is a superstar in the making. Should have definitely made the All-Star team.
Why didn't he make the All-Star team?
There's too many. There's just too many. And at his position, he plays a 2-guard. Sometimes he plays point guard, where he primarily handles the ball. It's tough. It comes from a small market as well. Votes count. Fans 50%, media 25%, players 25%. So it's unfortunate that he didn't make it. But this guy is big time. And now he's paired with Kristaps Porzingis, who's now coming from New York to Dallas. So trust me, you're going to see a couple of championships along the way.
Has that been agreed, the deal for Kristaps Porzingis?
Yeah, that's done. That's done. He's in Dallas.
Okay.
He's
Your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
I think it puts a big 1-2 punch in Dallas. Yeah. Because it's a pity he's still injured, but I'd have loved to see like the European connections, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and Dirk Nowitzki playing on the same court at the same time. That would have been fantastic.
Imagine that.
That's going to work out, but they also need some muscle. They need a couple of bruisers, a couple of tough guys in that team. These guys are lean, European, you know what I mean? Not really known for their physical prowess. Yeah. So they're going to need some muscle down in Dallas to make it happen.
Look, I'm still stuck on the name Trae Young. I think that if it doesn't work out for him in basketball, he can find himself in hip-hop, he can find himself in rap, he can do basically anything that he wants to do with a name like Trae Young. But so much to talk about with Kaunda and Swoo. They're going to be with us till the rest of the show. But let's take a quick step into social media and see what Felicia and SV has come up with in the world of social media.
Hello, Africa. It's the day before Valentine's Day, but unfortunately, not everyone is being shot by Cupid's arrows. That leads us to our first story. 20-year-old swimmer Manuel Bortuzzo was shot in front of a nightclub on the outskirts of Rome on Saturday night. Bortuzzo, an aspiring Olympic swimmer, underwent a double surgery on Sunday to stop a thoracic hemorrhage and to remove the bullet that had lodged in his spine. He will not walk again. The two young men accused of the shooting confessed and admitted that they had confused him for someone else. Manuel told his mother when he woke up that now another training begins. The sports world and the whole of Italy are supporting him, as well as us here in Africa. Bortuzzo has become the son, the brother and nephew of all of those who will not accept living in an environment as a hostage to violence. On to boxing now. Legend Mike Tyson continues to revel in the marijuana industry. The former world champion is the proud owner of a huge 40-acre ranch in California after breaking into the marijuana business last year. Tyson will also hold a weed-themed music festival on his ranch on February 23rd, though you won't be able to buy cannabis on site. The 52-year-old has long been an advocate of the Class B drug. He freely admitted that he was stoned when he fought against Andrew Golota in 2000. His ranch has 20 acres set aside for the growing of the plant, while he also has his own school to teach farmers how to grow and develop their strains, called the Tyson Cultivation School. Jadon Sancho went from prized star to prized plum after he forgot his passport ahead of Borussia Dortmund's Champions League clash against Tottenham today. The English winger delayed the flight to London as he was forced to dash back home to collect his passport. The Bundesliga side faced Tottenham in the first leg of the last 16 tier of Champions League at Wembley today, with 4 key players ruled out. It's probably why he forgot his passport. You can't delay the inevitable, Sancho. Please, you guys, don't delay the inevitable. Give us a like or a comment and do send in those Valentine's preparations. Until next week, kwaherini.
In the 33rd edition of the three-point contest, the field has been expanded to 10. Each participant looks to drain as many three-pointers as possible in 1 minute, moving from one station to the next around the three-point line. The top 3 finishers advance to the final round. Devin Booker, he returns to defend his title in the contest 2019 edition. Also appearing will be multiple Trailblazers and multiple Currys. Yep, there you go. Steph Curry, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Joe Harris, Buddy Hield, Chris Middleton, and Dick Nowitzki. Gents, these are the candidates for the three-point contest. Who might make it through the rounds into the final?
Man, Devin Booker won it last year, so I think he's got a legit chance. But now, this year is totally different, folks. Stephen Curry, Seth Curry, brothers, shooters, ice cold. Their dad played in the NBA, and he was a shooter himself, Del Curry. So then their hometown boys, too. They're actually from Charlotte.
Carolina,
so Stephen Curry is actually one of the ambassadors along with Michael Jordan for the AllStar Game. But I think you can't. I want to choose Devin Booker, but you can't overlook Seth and Steph. And if you have to choose between those two, Steph is going to be at the top. He may as well shoot from half court. Because this guy is unconscious.
He can't drop a 3.
This guy is unconscious.
Look, I've seen this happen before, and Devin, once upon a time, Klay Thompson was the champion. And he came back and lost dismally. So I think there's a bit of a curse there at All-Star. I'm sure Devin
in terms of defending champions.
Devin Booker's probably going to bomb out bomb out of this one. He's had his trophy. But the Curry brothers, I like how that's looking. But you know what I'd like to see? Veteran, OG Dirk Nowitzki
Come on.
possibly winning it.
Dirk, guys, let me tell
He's
you.
there. I know he's there for
Dirk Nowitzki,
sentimental reasons,
Dirk
right?
Nowitzki can barely walk.
What's that got to do with shooting three-pointers?
He is in his 21st season.
Yes.
In the NBA.
Yeah.
And he still actually hasn't announced his retirement. So I don't know why.
Why should he?
He must continue.
So you're gonna compare Dirk and Steph in a shooting competition?
He's still he's playing active basketball.
Yes, thank
He's
you.
playing active basketball.
I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying I would love to see him.
Of course.
I think
you
we
want
need a
him
shot in this set of something, just to get guys thinking right.
Oh,
Some water.
Because there is
Thinking
no
wrong,
way.
thinking wrong.
There is no way you pick. I mean, that list. You notice I didn't even pick anyone on that
Yes.
list. Steph,
Yes.
Seth.
Okay.
It's going to be between them two in the finals, and it's going to be Steph who takes it.
All right, but I can't argue with you too much. I know the Curry brothers are gonna go deep, but I would just love to see a Dirk Nowitzki pull off a surprise.
I'd like to see it too, but some of us are realists.
Or maybe Kemba
of us are
Walker. Maybe
realists.
Kemba Walker, the other hometown boy. Kemba
So
Walker.
for North Carolina,
make it
for
a whole
the fan base.
North Carolina affair.
Michael Jordan said he was really proud of him and he really thinks he's going to do something special. So maybe he's going to win it. Who knows?
Well, we'll find out now. Revisiting the historic Dominic Wilkins and Michael Jordan 1988 battle, it's easy to see why the slam dunk contest has long been a highlight of the NBA All-Star Weekend. Each of the four participants get 2 dunks in the first round, scored from 6 to 10. The top 2 scorers advance to the final round, and Donald Mitchell is the defending champion, though he will be skipping this year's contest to focus on his Jazz playoff run. However, Dennis Smith Jr., now a New York Knick and therefore uncensored with playoff runs, will return for his second straight contest. Does that sound good to you guys?
There's no Blake Griffin there, guys. That's like my problem. There's no Blake Griffin on that list.
Yeah.
I would expect to have him on the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, probably should be
I
there.
think
Probably
he's done
should be
his
there.
part for slam.
He's all
No, he
right.
has. No, he
Don't miss
has.
him.
Hasn't he jumped over a cow?
No, he has. He has. He's done
What
really
else you
well.
want him to jump over,
He
guys?
jumped over a cow. You want to bring a tank in there? The guy has done it all.
Yeah, but I'll tell you guys something. Watch out for Dennis Smith Jr. He just moved from Dallas to New York. He plays now for the Knicks. He didn't get game time, obviously, with Luka Doncic dominating with the Dallas Mavericks. I think he's rejuvenated. I think he's looking to find his own voice and to find his own place in this league. He is a high flyer, and I pick him to win this contest.
You know what, Spoo? I want to put something on the cards, right? I know why you're talking about Dennis Smith Jr. Because when short guys dunk, it looks more amazing.
Yeah, it
than
does.
tall guys.
It does.
When you
No, it
dunk
does.
and when I dunk, it looks very different.
Yeah, except Arthur, who's not going to dunk. We know it's not going to happen. But anyway.
Dunks. I'm stopping basketball altogether.
Yeah, no, I'm also never bowling again. The gods of basketball clearly have failed us.
So you see, I want to see John Collins win this. He was here for the African game. You know,
really nice
great
kid.
guy, really nice kid, great to talk to. And he dunks pretty well as a power dunker. But I know when he dunks and when Dennis Smith Jr. dunks, Dennis Smith Jr. is going to look more remarkable because he's coming from a lower base.
Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr., when he dunks and when he sort of does the things that he does, it seems like you've added some tomato sauce in there. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just a normal, straight meal that has nothing to do with anything.
Guys,
But I hope John Collins wins because I'm sure him and Vince Carter are somewhere cooking up something.
Yeah.
You know, they're teammates now, and Vince is a former champion, so, you know.
Absolutely.
wow.
Right now, last year, the NBA switched up all the All-Star games. Like, finally, they removed the stale Eastern Conference against the Western Conference format that nobody really cared about, and the league took the game back to the playground. Now, team captains, they were basically voted the most voted player in each conference, and they get to pick their own players. Now, in Los Angeles, LeBron James and Milwaukee Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, drafted the Roasters and even implemented the first trade in All-Star game history. Now, given the personalities, it is no surprise that the proceedings were fun to watch. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Every moment of it. You know, I couldn't wait for the first picks from Giannis and LeBron. And when those first picks came through, I was like,
It made a lot of sense.
This is a picture of what we can expect come All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, you know, First of all, this is the second time they've done this kind of format. And last year, when Steph and LeBron were picking, it was sort of done off-site or off camera. And for the first time, they actually did it live on air, which I thought was fantastic because, you know, you're sitting there at the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
I was expecting that, you know, LeBron would pick Steph, but he didn't. He picked Kevin Durant. And I was like, oh, where's this going now? Then Giannis also picked Steph. And then I was like, okay, now who's LeBron going to pick? Is he going to pick Kyrie? Is it going to be brother, I missed you?
Yeah.
You know, and then it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun to see it, especially from a LeBron James situation where the first couple of people that he drafted, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and of course, trading for Ben Simmons, trading Russell Westbrook for Ben Simmons. It looks like all these guys are coming to the end of their contracts. Well, Kevin Durant and obviously Anthony Davis, who was the subject of a trade that almost happened.
Yes,
almost
at the Lakers.
So now guys were saying, this guy is tampering.
Yes.
Why is he picking AD? Why is he picking KD? Why is he trading for
Do you think it actually
you know
does create like a bit of drama?
I
like,
think it did.
LeBron, you didn't choose me.
Yeah.
I'm not coming over to your house on Sunday to dunk with you. Do you think they go through that?
No, they do. But some players get salty, and one of them is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal said to reporters, well, I don't agree with this draft situation because we're making a big deal out of who gets drafted last. And I'm like, Bradley Beal, you are getting picked last.
Yes.
That's why you have a problem, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal. So some guys get salty about that kind of stuff.
But look, Sbu, it also adds to sentimentality, which I didn't like. Because, enough respect to Chris Middleton, he was also here for the Africa game. He's cool. But I think Giannis picked him because he's his teammate.
No, but he did say that.
It's kind of like you and me. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't pick you.
I was waiting for that to happen.
I'd be like, you know, Arthur plays better than Sbu, but Sbu's my boy, so I'm going to pick Sbu before Arthur. You know,
no, you're
like,
right.
You know, to me, it was like, come on, Giannis, pick someone else. But he had to do what he had to do, because next thing you meet in the locker room and it's like, oh, really?
Yeah. He even mentioned, you know, when he said, like, we're talking about Bradley Beal, that he would not pick Bradley Beal last. So there is that sentimentality that comes in the picks, you know, even specifically with the players that are chosen. And do you feel that, you know, LeBron James and, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo chose their players based on the strengths and weaknesses that they might face?
No, of course. And they chose them according to the star power that they bring into your team. Not just ability, but star power. That's why KD is going to get picked first. That's why Steph is going to get picked first. But the other interesting thing is you find players like Bradley Beal getting picked last. Kemba Walker among the starters, when they were drafting for the starters first.
Yes.
Kemba Walker was the last pick. And you know why? It's because he's this short.
Yeah.
And the star power is not quite there. Regardless of the fact that he's actually the leader in Charlotte, he's actually an all-star starter this year, improving every year. But the name Kemba Walker doesn't carry the same weight as Stephen Curry.
Interesting you say that. Very quickly on that note, Kaunda, the star status, the star power. If you don't make the AllStar rosters, does that kind of, in a sense, you know, throw some sort of explanation, some sort of definition to the basketball community that you're not great, you're not yet at that level where you can be compared to LeBron James and Steph Curry?
Look, Arthur, it's a yeah and nay situation, because some people, I think, get there on popularity alone. And I'm not saying, because all these are talented guys. They're NBA professional players. So to me, they're as good as each other, and LeBron is better than everybody else. But that's another discussion for another show, right? But you know, when you're an all-star, it's like a bragging right. It doesn't really mean anything in essence. You just made it to this mid-season showpiece game. But, you know, they will always say, Kaunda Chama, 15-time all-star, and maybe I don't even have a championship, but I've been to AllStar so many times. So it's an accolade you can wear, but at the end of the day, it's a popularity contest, because we vote for them as fans, and obviously fellow players play for them, who vote for them, as well as the media and that, and the coaches. But it's a popularity contest, and it's just a nice to have.
No, it really is. And to Kaunda's point, just to add on that, Dwayne Wade almost got voted in as an all-star when he's averaging less points than he's ever averaged. He's in his the twilight years of his career. He's not an all-star by any stretch of the imagination, but he almost made the team, and that's a popularity thing, like he was saying. So he came out and said, actually, you know what? If I get voted in, I actually don't want to play, because I may be taking on an opportunity for a young player like Rudy Gobert, who cried about me not being an All-Star when he actually deserves it. His mom called him after the draft was, or the rosters were announced that he's not going to be an All-Star. So guys like that, a Donovan Mitchell, a Rudy Gobert, possibly a Luka Doncic, now would lose their spot because you are popular and fans are voting for you. So, like he's saying, it's a yay or nay situation with that.
Right, now talking about this popularity contest, Team LeBron or Team Giannis? Who are you going with?
It's obvious. Team Giannis. let me tell you. Team Giannis has got two of the greatest African players in the league at the moment. One, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, but he's got Nigerian roots, got experience from Nigeria. Then Joel Embiid. They don't call him the process for nothing. He's from Cameroon. I mean, I'm just looking at that.
You're repping your African continent, I see.
We're going to rep it. We're going to rep it.
No, that's
two
good.
big African giants in there.
Yeah, I feel like it's a low blow for me. You do that African thing, first, and now I'm going to look like the bad guy, picking the guys from the US. Team LeBron, and here's why. Besides LeBron James himself, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis.
That's it.
I don't even have to go further.
Yes.
Just there. Game done.
Have you forgotten? We've got two-time MVP Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
And that's All-Star MVP.
How many MVPs does LeBron James have? 4.
Okay.
No, we'll give you LeBron, but let's look at the whole team.
No, but let's look at the MVP. You mentioned MVPs. Let's look at the MVPs. I've got 4 LeBron James. You've got? Thank you.
Russell's younger. He's
This
more
will never
athletic.
end.
All right. This
It's gonna be on.
A huge basketball weekend is just a few days away, and all the action is available right here on Kwese Sports. I can't wait for it. Spoo and Kaunda, enjoy the weekend, and thank you for your contribution on the show. Thank you for adding that fire that we love here on hashtag, and may the fire return and go with you.
Hashtag is the place to be, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I want to be back on hashtag.
Yeah, every week, right?
Very soon.
That'll be nice.
So much fun.
That'll be nice.
Oh, gotta say goodbye to you.
Yes,
No.
but very soon I'll be back,
When are you back?
Just keep it exciting. I can't tell you all my secrets. Then it won't be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, well, there you heard it, Africa. That's it from the rest of the team here from our African studios. As the saying always goes, à toute l'Afrique que nous suit. À la prochaine.